In just a moment, Suspense with Gregory Peck.
Oh, Hap, did you find that old picture album?
Yeah. Take a peek at yourself in the old look. The funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh, Mary, here's a shot of a first car. Roll down curtains and everything, remember?
Yes, and weren't we proud of it?
Mm-hmm. But what an arm breaker. Crank like a rusty old coffee grinder. What a whale of a difference a quick starting Autolite Stay Full battery makes.
Are you going to thank Autolite again, honey?
For Stay Full battery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said it, Mary. Why, I wouldn't trade that thirst-free powerhouse in our car for all the tea in China. Same goes for our Autolite spark plugs and Autolite ignition system.
I don't suppose you'd care to trade this small talk for a half hour of suspense.
Oh, sure, Mary, sure.
Stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starring tonight, Mr. Gregory Peck in Anton Leader's production of Hitchhike Poker. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Want to ride, young fella?
Oh, you bet.
How far are you going?
Oh, hi.
Well, hop in.
Oh, thanks. That's how I met J. Stewart Belden in his canary yellow convertible. That's how I took the ride. I'll be a long time forgetting. He looked to be about 45, and he wasn't bad looking for a guy that old. He was well built, about my size, no gray in his hair. And that coat he was wearing, boy, I'll bet plenty of camels went under the clippers for that one.
So you're a student, eh?
I'll graduate from Berkeley this year.
I suppose you're a vet.
Oh, yes, more than half the guys are vets.
What's your name, son?
Ridge Fowler?
Married?
Well, not me.
Don't tell me you're a woman hater.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just, well, I have enough trouble feeding myself.
I said the same thing years ago. But you'll change your mind when the right girl comes along. 9B 1863. Dud.
Huh?
Oh, didn't you ever play license plate poker?
License plate poker? Never heard of it.
It's just like regular poker, except instead of drawing cards, you draw license plates. Now, I drew that hand. There was nothing in it. Next card we see will be your hand. Here comes one now. Watch the license plate. 4J3134, two pair, threes and fours. You beat me.
Hey, that's a good game. What are the stakes?
Well, make it easy on yourself. Shall we say $100,000 a hand?
See what I mean? Good Joe. A lot of laughs and small talk. And all the time that convertible eating the miles up. What a car. We practically flew through Salinas, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Maria.
Well, son, what do you say to a hamburger? I know a little place in Santa Ynez where they make a hamburger that drips with royalty.
Oh, you got me sold.
And on the side, French fried onions, shoestring potatoes, and the coldest beer in the world.
Stop, you're killing me. Now, tell me, did I overrate the place? Boy, that was terrific.
The trouble is they give you too much food in there. I've got to quit eating like that. My clothes are getting tight. Especially this coat.
Well, that coat sure is a beauty. I'm nuts about camels here.
You are? Gee, I've got an idea. Why don't you try it out?
Oh, no, Mr. Belden. I didn't mean
Go
that.
ahead. You're just enough thinner than I am that it ought to fit you fine.
Well, gosh,
Here, go ahead. Try it on. College boy can always use a coat.
Well, it's a good fit.
It was made for you.
Well, I don't know what to say. That's a coat for a king.
Well, I guess that makes you a monarch then, son. Because it's your coat now.
I couldn't get over it. A coat like that, mine? I'll bet Mom's eyes will really pop when she sees it on me. Must have cost a year's tuition. I climbed back into the car and slouched down into the maroon leather seat and waited for him while he made phone call. Boy, I felt like a king, all right. I was deep in a daydream when he came out of the phone booth.
Okay, Rich, here we go.
Hey, look, a straight. Huh? I drew a straight. 2J3456.
Really?
Straight?
That's the highest hand today. That'll be tough to beat.
Darn tough. Well, we drove for quite a while, not talking much. We left Highway 101 at Santa Ynez, where we got the hamburgers. There weren't many cars on the road, and Belden hadn't been able to draw anything to beat my straight. In fact, he seemed to lose interest in the game. He was concentrating on the road. It was a treacherous road, curved and high, full of hairpin turns, but he handled the car beautifully, taking those curves fast but sure, never slowing down a bit. Well, I like speed, but all of a sudden I felt nervous the way he was hugging the edge. I turned to look at him to say something, and the words stuck in my throat. He changed. No more the smiling host. Instead, he was fastened to the wheel like a hawk. That's what he looked like, a hawk, ready to strike. I was tongue-tied at the changing. I guess my reflexes worked slowly, but his didn't. He threw open his door, twisted the wheel. Hey! When the car hurtled into space, I was alone in it. I hit smashed into the windshield. Another jolt threw me against the door. I'm not too clear at this point, but the next thing I knew, I was flying through space again. Only this time I was free of the car. I landed, sprawled against the side of the hill. I began to slip, roll. I grabbed wildly, desperately, for just anything to stop myself. But it happened. It was the trunk of a twisted, gnarled old tree that grew out of the hillside. Hit me square in the stomach. Knocked the wind right out of me. I lay there, too hurt to care. It was a minute or two before I got up enough breath to move. Finally, I edged my way up the cliff, hand over hand. It was brutal, but I was surprised to discover that I hadn't fallen as far as it seemed. I was climbing around a bulge of boulders not more than 8 feet from roadside level when I looked up. There was Belden. A gun in his hand. I ducked and the bullets scaled off the boulders. He wanted me dead, that was for sure. He wanted to kill me. Why? Why? I waited, crouched. Then I heard the horn. I came out from behind the boulders, crawled up on the road. Belden was nowhere in sight. I didn't see what kind of a car it was. I didn't even think to look. All I saw was he beat my straight. 4L5555. That was the license. 4L5555. 4 of a kind. All of a sudden, I was shaking. I looked at myself. I was beat up, cut, filthy. But what was worse, the camel's hair coat was a mess. King? I had to laugh. Belden was king. I was just the joker. My back hurt, my head throbbed. I ached all over. But I walked every inch of the way back to Santa Ynez. It was dark by the time I got there. When I stood in front of the police station, I realized for the first time the meaning of the word sanctuary. I took a deep breath. I wanted to tell the police as straight a story as possible. I opened the door.
Just relax and get the bus.
There he is, officer. That's the boy who stole my car, forced me out, took my coat. Just look in the side pocket of the coat. You'll find my wallet.
bringing you Mr. Gregory Peck in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
I'm sure getting a big kick out of Gregory Peck tonight.
Oh, good. Maybe you'll put that old picture album away now.
Why, Mary, don't you like old photos?
No, they make us look so silly. Besides, all they've made you do is talk about Autolite. And when it comes to Autolite, I'd rather listen to Frank Martin. He really knows what he's talking about.
Autolite new stay-full batteries need water only 3 times a year in normal car use. This means less trouble and care for you. For Autolite's greater water reserve practically eliminates one of the major causes of battery failure. Autolite stay-full batteries are a great new development of Autolite engineers who produce complete ignition systems for many of America's finest cars. They work in complete harmony with your car's entire electrical system. Car owners everywhere tell us Autolite batteries are the greatest batteries ever built.
Heck, Mary, I could have told you all that and never stopped looking at this album.
Quiet, Hap.
So, friends, stop at your neighborhood Autolite dealers and get an Autolite stay-full battery. Then you'll know what fast starts really are. And remember this. The Autolite stay-full battery you buy needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use.
You know, Mary, I can repeat every word Frank Martin said about Autolite stay-full batteries. Autolite stay...
Here's Suspense again.
And now, Autolite brings back to a Hollywood soundstage Mr. Gregory Peck as Ridge Fowler in Hitchhike Poker, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
This couldn't be. What was Belden doing here in the police station? What was he trying to pull? I knew even before I put my hand in the coat that Belden's wallet would be there. And I knew, too, that the police would never believe me, no matter what I said. I was trapped. The desk sergeant was waiting for me to talk, but my throat was dry, my tongue was paralyzed, my brain spinning.
Well, what do you got to say for yourself?
Oh, you don't understand, you see. He gave me the coat. I didn't know about the wallet.
That's the best you can do?
But I tell you, he picked me up when I was hitchhiking. I was going home from school for the weekend. Then he forced me off the road. He tried to kill me. He shot at me.
Sergeant, let the boy go.
But, Mr. Belden...
I've changed my mind. I don't intend to press charges.
But this kid's crazy.
Easy, Sergeant. He's a war veteran.
Oh, I see.
Oh, no. Lock me up, please. Don't believe him.
Everyone is entitled to one mistake. Any boy who is big enough to come into the police station voluntarily, give himself up, deserves another chance.
If I could have erased the memory of his face
You
when he
lock him up,
twisted
put him
that
away.
wheel and screamed, "So long, Sonny." All these benevolent words would have fooled me like they were fooling the desk sergeant. Belden was bursting with sweetness and light. But every word he said to release me only tightened the web tighter. And I knew just as sure as I was standing there that he wasn't through with me. That walking out of that door would be like releasing the clay bird at a trap shoot.
Well, it's up to you, Mr. Belden, if you're sure he won't cause any more trouble.
I'm positive that after tonight, this young man will be no trouble to anyone.
No trouble to anyone. After tonight, I had to get away from there. I had to run.
Come here, come back.
I don't know how long I ran. I didn't know where I was. The town was behind me. I stopped. Out of breath. I tried to light a cigarette. My hands shook like I had the palsy. It was like the South Pacific. Snipers and trees. But what trees? Where? Then I saw the bright, glaring neon ahead. Mackinac, one sign said, and Wayside Rest Trucks Welcome, the other. Just a dinky service station and a lunch wagon, but it was an oasis to me.
Howdy. Hey, what's the matter, Bud? You sick?
No, I'm all right.
You sure look green here on the gills. Been in a fight?
How soon will the truck start coming through?
You got a long wait, about 2-3 hours. Been in an accident?
Look, mister, I've got to get a ride to Ojai. Do you mind if I hang around and wait?
Oh, I don't mind. Won't do no good, though. Ain't allowed to pick up riders, company rules. Might be lucky and catch a wildcatter, but I doubt it.
Oh, thanks.
You sure you're all right? Maybe you better go next door and get yourself a cup of coffee. Sure look like you could use one.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Hey, if a ride turns up, I'll call you.
Oh, thanks, Mac.
Oh, I'm not Mac. I'm Al. Mac works days.
Well, I felt halfway decent when I came out of the lunch wagon. I'd cleaned myself up and reduced my capital to 15 cents. Al had a customer.
Yes, no, that'll be 280. Hey, Bud, come here.
Huh?
I got you a ride to Ojai.
Oh, you have? Who with?
The little lady here. She's been driving all day, got an awful headache. She's going straight to Ojai. Here's the fella I was telling you about, lady, that needed a ride to Ojai.
Oh, I'm afraid you misunderstood. I just said I wished I had somebody to drive me.
Oh, well, I don't blame you for not wanting to take a rider, but I'd appreciate it if you'd change your mind. I've got to get to Ojai tonight.
Well, I am tired.
Oh, go ahead, miss. He's a nice fella.
Well, if you'll vouch for me.
Now, wait a minute, lady. I don't vouch for anybody.
All right. I guess it'll be all right.
It was a pleasure to drive for her. She didn't say much, and I didn't feel like talking. She just sat there beside me, her eyes closed, resting. Once in a while, I snatched a quick look at her. She had long, dark eyelashes resting on her marble-like cheeks, hands folded in her lap. I found myself remembering when the right girl comes along. I was trying to remember who said it when I saw her looking at me. Feel better?
Much better. I'm ashamed of myself, hesitating to let you drive my car. I'm afraid I'm overcautious.
No, I wouldn't say that. Can't be too careful.
One reads of such awful things happening on the road.
Yeah. Awful things. I hadn't thought of Belden since we left Al's gas station. Now he was back in the front of my mind.
You're going awfully fast. These curves are treacherous.
I guess I'm just anxious to get home.
Oh, yes, but look out! Do you want to kill us both? You almost sideswiped.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, what are you honking now for? He's gone.
Your horn.
What about it?
Oh, nothing. I thought I'd heard it before.
Before? Look, maybe I'd better drive.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'll be all right. I'm sorry. I'd be sewing up my sleeves if I didn't get a hold of myself. I must have been crazy, thinking that her horn was the same as the one that had honked for Belden when I was hanging on the side of that hill. It was just a horn. A lot of horns sound alike. I tried to steady myself. I didn't want her to catch on how rattled I was. I turned to her to apologize. She was putting a cigarette in her mouth, but it was purely automatic. She was sitting up straight, tense. Her eyes were glued to the road ahead. And it hit me. I'd been over this road earlier tonight with Belden. Suddenly, it loomed up, that wide bank curve just ahead, the spot where Belden had tried to kill me. My hands froze on the wheel. I held my breath, and then I saw her hand reach out. What are you doing?
Let go of my wrist. What's wrong with you? I was only reaching for the cigarette lighter on the dashboard.
Oh. I'm sorry. That curve back there, it...
Pull over and stop.
Huh?
Pull over. I'm going to drive.
She drove about a mile, I guess. Neither one of us said anything. Then, without any warning, she took a sharp turn off the highway and down a rutted dirt road. Hey, miss, you're leaving the highway.
We'd better stop a while. You don't look so well.
Oh, I'm all right now.
You don't look it. Better have a drink. I'll reach in the glove compartment to find some scotch.
Oh, really, I'm all right.
Well, then maybe I need it.
Maybe it was the drink. Maybe it was the girl. Maybe it was just relief. But I felt peace for the first time that night. I watched her inhale. The glow from the cigarette lit up her high cheekbones. I couldn't see her eyes until she turned her head.
What's your name?
Ridge.
Mine's Virginia.
Hi.
Hi.
You must think I'm pretty much of a jerk the way I've been acting.
That's all right. Seems like that happened to everybody.
Yeah, I guess so. Look, I'm all right now. I could drive.
What's your hurry?
Well, I thought...
What's the matter? Don't you like to sit here with me?
Well, no, it's just that... I thought you were in a hurry.
I'm not. Now. Are you?
No, I'm in no hurry at all. She didn't seem to be moving. It was so gradual. I caught a trace of warm perfume in her hair. She smiled at me. One of those elusive smiles, half innocent, half... Her head touched my shoulder. I accepted the invitation.
I like you, Ridge. I like you a lot.
Yeah. You know, tonight back in the filling station when I first saw you,
What's the matter, Ridge?
The miniature license tag on your key ring.
Yes?
4L5555.
Four of a kind.
You play license plate poker?
I'm afraid so, Ridge.
4 5s. The license of the car that picked Belden up after he tried to kill me.
That's right.
Then you're in it with me, Sonny. I fell right out of the car. Hard. My face buried in the dirt. I didn't black out, but it would have been much easier if I had. Only my mind functioned. Everything else seemed paralyzed.
Well, you took your time getting here.
I was delayed.
You were supposed to be here waiting. What if I hadn't been able to keep him?
Oh, I knew I could depend on you, darling, to detain him.
What is that supposed to mean?
Did you have to go as far as you did? Did you have to let him kiss you?
Do you know a better way to keep a man on ice?
A perfect wife, a little helpmate.
Oh, shut up. Put him in the back seat.
Now, just a moment, darling. I'm going to do it right this time. There'll be no slip-up.
You fool! Put that gun away.
Why?
Don't you realize if a bullet is found in the body, it won't be accidental death?
You're always so right, aren't you, darling?
Only because you're so stupid.
Stupid, am I? Who planned this whole thing?
You did, and badly. If you'd handled it right in the first place, his body would be burned up by now, along with the car. Now put him in the back.
Belden's wife. But why did they want to kill me? Why? Belden picked me up, threw me in the back of the car.
Uh-huh. Hand me the wrench, Virginia.
Stewart! This time, warm, black oblivion rushed over me. After a second, the pain was gone. And so was I. Consciousness returned in spotches.
Oh, we've plenty.
My head was like a shortwave receiver, now static, now clear, now clear, now static now.
Anything behind us?
Nobody.
We're almost there.
Are you sure no one has discovered the car yet?
Of course not. The way it's lying, nobody will see it until daylight. And then J. Stuart Belden will be found dead, burned to an unrecognizable crisp. We can shake this place, go to South America.
You can go. I have to stick around, remember, to collect the insurance and pretend I'm heartbroken you're dead.
Will that be so hard? You didn't talk like this when you married me. But of course there was a lot more money then.
Yes, swindled from suckers.
Since when have you become fussy about where money comes from? What's changed you? The schoolboy?
Don't be a fool.
All right, we've got to work fast. Give me a hand with them.
Wait.
Huh?
Here comes the car.
The end of the line. But anyway, now I knew why. I was a stand-in for a corpse.
I'll put it in his pocket as soon as I get him out of the car. All clear?
Yes.
This was it. They were on either side of me. I had to think straight. My body still felt numb. One chance, if only my muscles coordinated, I'd wait till he dragged me out of the car and then I'd fight.
Virginia, get the gasoline can out.
I felt him grab me under the armpits. I I opened my eyes just in time to see that murderous wrench in the girl's hand. As she brought it down, my eyes closed. It hit me hard, but it wasn't the wrench, it was Belden. The wrench had folded him up, and he collapsed on top of me. Every nerve in my body was alert now. I didn't know what would come next, but I was ready for it. She pulled Belden's body off me. She wasn't aware of me watching her. She was too busy dragging Belden over to the rim of the cliff. She was transfigured with hate.
Well, Stewart, that's how you planned it. Accidental death.
And then she kicked him, and he disappeared over the edge. I didn't wait to see any more. I crawled out of that car, and I started to run right down the middle of the road. She saw me.
Wait! Stop! Wait!
But I kept right on going. I glanced back. She started the car. She was coming right at me. First, I thought she was just trying to catch up to me. Then I realized she was trying to run me down. She was trying to kill me. I was crossing to the left side of the road. She was right behind me. It was just a question of seconds. And suddenly, around the bend, a big truck. I was sandwiched between them. I stood, stunned with horror. Her scream ringing through my head. And the picture of her in the car, swerving off into space, into the canyon below.
Hey, Bud, you all right?
Yeah.
What happened?
She went off the road.
A crazy woman driver. We'll have to report it. Come on, I'll give you a ride into town. You hear me? Don't you want a ride?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
What are you staring at?
Your license plate. CM 1111.
Hey, it wasn't my fault. You saw how it happened.
4 aces. 4 aces. I'd won. I'd taken the last hand. But as long as I live, I'll jump out of my skin whenever a car pulls up and a voice asks,
Want a ride, young fella?
Thank you, Gregory Peck, for a splendid performance. Mr. Peck will return in just a moment.
Well, think you'll get back to your old picture album after that performance, Hap?
No, guess I'll just listen to Frank Martin and go to bed. Probably dream I'm in the Sahara without an Autolite Stay Full battery.
Yes, friends, like the faithful camel of the Sahara Desert, the Autolite Stay Full battery you buy goes a long time between drinks. It's a trouble-free battery and needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use. Autolite Stay Full's greater water reserve practically eliminates one of the major causes of battery failure. Get an Autolite Stay Full. Money can't buy a better battery. Autolite means batteries. Stay full batteries. Autolite means spark plugs. Ignition-engineered spark plugs. Autolite means ignition system. The lifeline of your car. In its 26 nationwide plants, Autolite manufactures bumpers, die castings, horns, instruments and gauges, lights, ornamental plastics, and more than 400 other automotive, aviation, and marine products. All are famous the world over for their Autolite engineered dependability. And now here again is Mr. Gregory Peck.
It's been a great pleasure to appear here tonight with this fine cast of suspense actors. And I'm expecting almost as much pleasure from listening next Thursday when radio's outstanding theater of thrills brings you Robert Young and Virginia Bruce in Celebration, another gripping study in
Suspense. Gregory Peck may soon be seen starred in the 20th Century Fox production Yellow Sky. Ed Begley played the part of Belden, and Kay Brinker was Virginia. Tonight's suspense play was written by John and Gwen Bagney
with music composed by Lucian Marwick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such outstanding stars as Edward G. Robinson, Lucille Ball, Ray Milland, and John Garfield. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. And next Thursday, same time, hear Robert Young and Virginia Bruce in Celebration.
This is the Autolite Suspense Show. Attention, all men. Join the fighting outfit that defends America, the new National Guard. Good night. Switch to Autolite.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. In just a moment, Suspense with Virginia Bruce and Robert Young.
Hey, Mary, have you noticed there's a big dent in the left rear fender of our car? How'd it get there?
What's that, dear?
The dent in our rear fender.
Oh, the dent. Oh, yes, of course. Well, dear, it's very simple.
Yes?
You see, I was going down to see Frank Martin. He's the Autolite salesman, you know.
Yes, I know Frank better than you do.
Well, you know the Autolite people, dear. They make those spark plugs you always talk about.
Autolite resistor spark plugs, Mom.
That's right.
And Autolite makes stay-full batteries,
Yes,
too.
I know, and Autolite makes complete ignition systems and over 400 other automotive, aviation, and marine products. But what about that dent?
Well, dear. Oh, shh. Here's the Autolite show.
Okay, but I'm not licked yet.
Suspense. Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starring tonight, Mr. Robert Young and Miss Virginia Bruce in Anton Leader's production of Celebration, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Just a couple more miles and I'll be there. I wonder how she is today. If there were only some way to get through to her, to make her understand. Well, I can't put it off any longer. For her sake.
It's a big, wide, wonderful world. I sang. Todd was coming for me. As I packed my suitcase, I looked out of the windows. The gardens were lovely, the patio with the peasant furniture. Some of the girls were playing badminton. Some were in the pool. Todd was coming for me, and I had a surprise for him. It's a big, wide, wonderful world. Oh, let's see, where's my pink bed jacket? Bottom drawer. It was here, I think. Well, where's the white one? Oh, dear. I couldn't seem to find anything, but I didn't care. Todd was coming for me. It's a big, wide, wonderful world. I knew what he'd say. Oh, Emily. Emily, how I've missed you. He'd hold me so hard and rub his cheek on my hair and kiss me. And I'd tell him about the surprise. I'd say...
Ward?
Yes?
It's Mrs. Halleck.
Oh, one moment, Mrs. Halleck. I pushed my suitcase under the bed. Come in, Mrs. Halleck.
Your husband just phoned, Mrs. Ward. He'll be here soon.
Oh, Todd, such a darling. Thank you, Mrs. Halleck. You've been so kind to me.
Well, I try to be to all the ladies.
I just have to put on my perfume. It's Passionate Night. Do you like it?
Grand. Oh, careful, you're spilling it.
Oh, I can't seem to hold things.
Well, it didn't break. Stand back. I'll wipe it.
Oh, thanks. Heavens, I used to fill this dress out, and now I look like a scarecrow in it, don't I?
You look grand. Now, you have everything. Your hat, gloves, purse.
Oh, of course.
Well, you remember last time you went for a drive.
Last time?
Oh, I didn't see your suitcase.
I was just packing it. I thought I wouldn't come back tonight.
Well, did you want to get this bunch of letters in your suitcase, too?
Of course. Give them to me. They're Todd's letters. Todd simply adores me, Mrs. Halleck.
I'm sure he does.
Just listen to this letter and you'll see. Darling, you are my happiness. I can't live without you. You're as necessary as... When I looked up, she was gone. She had left while I was reading. I knew what she'd do. She'd tell Todd I dropped that perfume.
I think you should understand, Mr. Ward.
I could hear her talking to Todd downstairs in the vestibule.
I appreciate all you've done for her, Mrs. Halleck.
As I told you in the letter, she would be better off in a place where she'd get personal attention.
I'll take care of it.
That woman, that two-faced. She came in and told me Todd was waiting downstairs. I danced down the stairs to Todd.
Oh, darling.
Oh, Todd. Todd.
And now, if you'll excuse me, please.
Oh, of course. Thank you. Emily, come here.
Oh, Todd.
Emily. Oh, Emily, how I've missed you.
Darling.
You know, dear, today's an important day. Our 8th wedding anniversary.
Why, Todd, we were married only 6 weeks ago.
What?
I mean, I never can remember dates.
Well, we're going to celebrate.
Oh, Todd.
Really celebrate this anniversary. We're going to all the places we used to go. The lake, Lover's Lane. Come on, darling, let's go. How can I tell her? What can I say? How can I do the things I must do? If only we could really turn back the clock. Back to before she fell down the stairs. Back to a time before the doctors told me about the pressure on her brain. The fact that any operation would prove fatal. If we only could go back to those wonderful days so long ago and keep them forever. But there's no turning back the clock. Not ever.
Smell those pines.
Yes.
Todd, didn't you wonder why I brought a suitcase?
Well, yes, I did.
That's because of the surprise.
Surprise?
Yes. I'm not going back to the club, Todd. I'm coming home with you.
Wonderful, dear.
I'm going to make chin straights for the living room and do the bathroom over with a full-length mirror and the kitchen lots of stunning color.
Now you're talking.
It'll be a big job, but we don't care, do we?
Of course not. But let's celebrate first, huh? If she only could understand how much that home of ours meant to me. If only she knew how deeply it hurt to see her. To hear her now the way she has been ever since the accident. The way she must be as long as that pressure is on her brain. If only she could understand.
Todd didn't want to go home. I saw the side of his face. He was looking straight ahead. A sad look. Closed up, sort of. Then we turned in at the lake, and he cheered up.
Look at that water, Emily.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anything so blue?
No.
Nothing is blue except your eyes.
Oh, you darling flatterer.
Well, here's our old parking place.
Isn't it awfully quiet?
You know, Emily, we could live a whole lifetime and never find anything better than we have right here.
He opened the door.
I'll get some blankets out of the back.
I sat there while he went around to the back. I was alone again. People were always going away and leaving me alone. Oh, now, put a brave face on it, Emily. Powder your face and fix your lips. I opened my purse and groped around for my lipstick. Oh dear, I wanted to spill like that. I reached down to pick up my things. Lipstick, compact. And my hand touched something. A little box. It was heavy. I read the words on the label. 38 caliber soft nosed shells. Bullets.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Mr. Robert Young and Miss Virginia Bruce in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Dad, who's taking the hard knocks on this show, Emily or Todd?
I don't know, Billy, but speaking of hard knocks, I still haven't gotten the lowdown from your mother on the knocking about she gave the car. Say, here's Frank Martin. Now, Frank, maybe you can tell me what happened to my car this morning.
Well, what could happen to your car, Hap? You've got Autolite resistor spark plugs, haven't you?
Yeah, but I got a big dent in the fender, too.
Say, Mr. Martin, what does the word resistor mean?
Well, it's like this, Billy. Autolite ignition engineered a 10,000 ohm resistor right into the Autolite spark plug that permits a wider spark gap setting and maintains it far longer than in any other spark plugs. The Autolite resistor spark plug is the best thing that's happened in spark plugs in years. A great new development of Autolite ignition engineers working with the country's leading car and truck manufacturers. When you replace your narrow gap spark plugs with the sensational new wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs, you can tell the difference in your car. You get advantages like smooth idling and saving gas. And friends, right now you can buy Autolite resistor spark plugs anywhere in the United States. So don't delay. Get a set of Autolite resistor spark plugs now.
But Frank, Mary, Billy, somebody, please tell me what happened to the fender of my car.
Quiet, Hap.
Here comes Suspense.
And now Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Robert Young and Miss Virginia Bruce in Celebration. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Everything was so lovely until I found that little box. I opened it, looked down at the bullets in it. What did Todd want with bullets? The box was only half full. I could hear Todd still rummaging around in the back of the car. I put the cover back on the box when I heard him coming around to the side.
All set? I've got the blankets.
I held the box of bullets under my purse.
Come on, darling, let's get out on that beach.
You lead the way.
Okay.
I followed Todd 3 or 4 steps. And then I let the box slip out of my hand.
Here we are. I'll spread the blankets. Come on, Emily, let's curl up and take it easy.
Thank you.
Look at that lake.
Todd, what were you going to do with those bullets in the car?
What bullets? That imagination of yours.
Oh, but I saw them, held them in my hands. The box was about half full.
Come on, dear. Close to me. Here.
Todd, I'm sure
Darling,
I saw...
please. Here, put your head on my shoulder. There.
My head aches, Todd.
Oh, rubbing's the thing.
Oh, you're hurting me.
I'm sorry, darling.
Oh, no.
Something the matter?
Oh, man.
Yes. What do you want?
I heard her cry as I was passing.
Well, she's all right.
Mm-hmm. Nice car you got over there.
Yes.
Thought the missus wasn't feeling well.
She's all right.
Lonely place here, huh? Well, I'll be getting along.
Where did he come from?
I thought we were alone here.
Alone?
We have so few moments together, Emily.
I get so scared. I look it, don't I?
Darling, why, when you came down the stairs today, you were radiant.
Was I? Was I really?
You were beautiful.
Why am I like that sometimes and sometimes...
You were my life, Emily. Come here.
Oh, Todd. Oh, you do want me. Kiss me again.
Emily. Emily, in all the world, there could never be another woman like you. You've given me more happiness than...
God, I dream of this. I live for it.
Yes, but, Emily,
Todd.
Emily, listen to me.
Todd, please.
Darling, the doctor said...
What doctor?
You know, when you went to see the doctor.
But that was ages ago. You all talk behind my back, so I can't hear what you say. You and Mrs. Halleck.
I just asked her how you were, and you must believe I love you, Emily.
Oh, I do.
That's fine. Here's where we built a sand castle, remember?
And the wave melted it. Oh, Todd, that day when I was caught in the undertow.
But I pulled you out, dear.
I was thinking, I keep dreaming about that. Sinking down into the black and you not there.
I'll be with you always, Emily.
Let's leave here, Todd. It's said we'd go to all the places and celebrate. I mean, there'll be lots of people around.
People?
Yes, it'll be fun. We can have dinner at the inn.
No, it'll be crowded, Emily, and...
Say,
Oh, it's that man again.
did you lose these things?
What things?
This box of bullets.
Bullets?
Found them in the sand, just a few steps from your car. Thought maybe you dropped them.
I dropped them. See, I told you, Todd. Those are the bullets I found in the car. Is the box half full?
Well, looks like somebody loaded a gun out of it. 38 caliber, soft-nosed shell, says on the box.
Oh, I'll bet I know. I let Ernie take the car yesterday.
Ernie?
Yeah, he's gone in for target practice.
Who's Ernie?
Why, he's...
Maybe he got them for you.
Yeah, I figured they were yours, mister. Look like they just been dropped beside your car up there.
Oh, thanks. Well, Emily, if we're going to the inn, we'd better get started. That was too close. She nearly caught me. But it's too soon for her to know. I've got to be careful. But I can't wait too long. I have to cut the celebration short. You wait here, Emily. It's been so long since we were here. I'd better see what it's like.
All right.
I'll be back in a minute.
I was alone again. Oh, relax, Emily. If Todd didn't come out in a minute, I'd go in after him. What I needed was a cigarette. I opened the glove compartment. Handkerchiefs, map, flashlight, gloves. No cigarette. I pulled out an envelope. An envelope addressed to Todd at his office, marked personal. I unfolded the letter. Dear Mr. Ward, Dr. Kernitz today confirmed that Mrs. Ward's condition is becoming progressively worse, and she needs more personal attention than we can give her. And since we are not equipped to care for hypomanic patients, we request that you make other arrangements for her at your earliest convenience. Sincerely, Bertha Halleck. Mrs. Halleck! I threw the letter back in the glove compartment and slammed the door.
This place is terrible.
Is it?
It's all run down. We'll drive out into the country, find a quiet spot.
Oh, no, Todd. Drive into town. We can have dinner at the hotel. There'll be music and we can dance.
You know, excitement isn't good for you.
Please, Todd. Please take me.
Anything the matter here, mister?
No. My wife doesn't feel well.
Something wrong, lady?
No, I'm all right. Oh, let's drive into the hotel, Todd.
Oh, okay.
Isn't this wonderful, darling?
Wonderful. Let's drink to us.
To us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Todd, you do really mean it.
More than anything in the world.
Would you care to order now, sir?
Yes. What would you like, Emily? Roast beef, southern fried chicken, lobster thermidor, duck with orange?
I'll have the southern fried chicken.
Good.
I'm afraid the chicken is all gone, madame.
Oh, that's the one thing I want. Southern fried chicken and everything that goes with it.
I'm sorry, madame.
Well, maybe there's just one order left.
I'll see what I can do. You, sir?
Lobster thermidor.
Yes, sir.
A Roomba.
Shall we dance?
Oh, yes, let's.
Come on. The way your face lights up, darling.
Being in your arms again. Oh.
Just relax, dear. Oh, excuse us, please. I'm sorry.
Well, the music isn't right, and why is everybody bumping into us?
Let's go back to our table.
All right. Oh, thank heaven.
There was just one more order of chicken left, sir. I'll serve you in a moment.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Where's my purse?
Right here, behind the flower bowl. And bulging full. What have you got in there?
Your letters.
Oh, no.
Yes, I read them over and over. You wrote this one from Omaha. Darling, you are my happiness. I can't live without you.
Emily.
You're as necessary as the air I breathe.
Emily, people are listening. Better Give me those letters.
No, but they're mine. You wrote them to me.
Of course, Emily.
Don't you mean what you said in them?
Certainly I do. Only, please, quiet down here.
Oh, that awful music. Those lights.
Emily, here's the waiter with our food.
Uh-oh.
May I serve you, madame?
What's that?
Fried chicken.
Oh, Todd, you know I never eat anything fried.
What the lady insisted, sir. Southern fried chicken and everything that goes with it.
Well, take it away. I'll pay for it.
Yes.
Oh, maybe this once won't hurt.
Very good. Here you are, madame. The lobster, sir?
Thank you.
Not very appetizing chicken, is it?
Why not try it? Go ahead, darling.
Oh, there's no taste to it. Oh, why are all these people making so much noise? Todd, take me home. I'm not hungry. I want to go home.
Emily, we sublet our house 3 months ago. Don't you remember when you...
When I was...
Darling, we have no... Emily, dear, you must realize that we no longer have a place.
Todd was talking, but I couldn't seem to hear what he was saying. Inside, I was all stirred up.
The best thing we can do is get out of here. Come on, darling.
We got up and left. Got into our car out in the parking lot.
Where are those keys? Let's see,
Todd, are you taking me home?
We're going out where we can be together, alone. To our lover's lane, remember? Where it's quiet and peaceful.
No, Todd, I want to go home.
This is our 8th wedding anniversary, Emily. We're celebrating.
Oh, Todd.
Where are those keys?
Well, maybe they're in your top coat in the back seat.
No, they're not there.
What makes your coat so heavy? Oh. What are you doing with the revolver?
Give it to me. I'll put it in my pocket so it... Oh, here are my keys.
Todd, those bullets were...
Emily, please.
Now I see what you... Now I know.
Yes, now she knows. There's no time to lose. I've got to drive fast, get there, and do it. Only she could understand. Understand that it will be better this way. Better for both of us. Emily, try not to get so excited.
But those bullets, you said they were Ernie's. Who's Ernie?
Half an hour ago, I told you I loved you. Remember?
Yes, I know you did, but...
Well, I do. I love you more than living.
Why are you slowing down?
Here's our lover's lane. You used to call it our paradise, remember?
It's so dark now.
Here's our magic circle. Under our big tree.
Todd,
Come, darling. Come into my arms. There.
You do love me. You do want to be with me, don't you?
Forever, Emily. The one way we can be together forever, dear, is...
No, Todd. Put that gun down. I want to live with you.
I have to tell you, darling. Listen carefully. You're not well, Emily. You're never going to be well again.
Oh, yes, I will, Todd. Yes, I will. I'll be a real wife to you. I'll be everything you want me to be.
I can't stand living without you. We'll go together.
Together?
Yes. Now, rest against me, sweetheart. Close your eyes. There.
Will it hurt much, Todd?
Only an instant, dear.
Oh, the gun is so cold on my temple.
Quiet now. I'll be with you in a moment.
No. Doesn't work.
Emily,
you kill me and leave me alone. No, Todd, don't.
I won't kill you. I didn't. I won't go through with it. Emily, stop it. Stop it, Emily.
Slowly, I became aware of pain in my head. There was a smell, like a hospital. I fought to remember what had happened. I'd fallen downstairs. Oh, no, that had been a long time ago. There was a gun. Todd and I struggling. That was it. Then I heard Todd talking.
Doctor, I want to tell you what happened.
I think I know, Mr. Ward. Your wife suffered a head injury some time ago, which caused the bone to press on the frontal lobe of her brain, causing acute hypomania. Isn't that right?
Yes, but
I've seen many people, Mr. Ward, whose loved ones faced a living death, so I can imagine your thoughts.
Yes, but you must understand, I meant to end it.
Hmm?
For both of us. But when the time came, I couldn't. I just couldn't. Well, what happened was an accident.
A very fortunate accident, because the bullet which struck your wife's head tonight did what medical science could not do.
Huh?
The operations necessary to remove the bullet served two purposes, and your speed in getting her here saved both her life and her sanity.
She'll be all right.
After a couple of weeks of rest. And your wife is no longer a hypomanic, Mr. Ward. If I were you, I'd give thanks to whatever fate guided that bullet along the course it took.
Right then, I knew that everything was wonderful, even the pain in my head. And Todd was by my side, bending over me.
Emily.
Oh, Todd.
Emily, darling. Can you ever forgive me?
Forgive you, darling? After what the doctor said? Oh, Todd.
I just couldn't live without you. I wanted us always to be together.
And now we will be. Darling, isn't this our 8th wedding anniversary?
Yeah.
Well, then, let's celebrate.
Thank you, Robert Young and Virginia Bruce, for such splendid performances tonight. Our stars will return in just a moment.
What a show. What a wallop before that happy ending.
Yeah, but I still want to know who walloped my fender.
Your fender, Hap?
Yeah.
Oh, that. Well, one of the boys brushed your car when he was turning around after the lodge meeting last night.
Well, I give up, Frank. Go on.
Here's an important message for Autolite spark plug dealers everywhere. When you install the new wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs, set the spark plug gap at .040 for all cars. Let me repeat. Set the spark plug gap at .040 for all cars. And friends, get a set of the new wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs tomorrow if you want the improved operating performance and gas saving that Autolite resistor spark plugs have already given millions of car owners. Don't delay. Get a set of new Autolite resistor spark plugs right away. And remember, Autolite means spark plugs.
Ignition-engineered resistor spark plugs.
Autolite means batteries.
Stay full batteries.
Autolite means ignition system.
The lifeline of your car.
In its 26 nationwide plants, Autolite manufactures bumpers, die castings, horns, instruments and gauges, lights, ornamental plastics, and more than 400 other automotive, aviation, and marine products. All are famous the world over for their Autolite engineered dependability.
And now, here is Mr. Robert Young.
It's been a pleasure to appear again on Suspense, and doubly a pleasure when it meant co-starring with beautiful Virginia Bruce.
Thank you, Bob. It's been a pleasure for me, too. But there's another pleasure I'm looking forward to, hearing next week's Suspense.
We all are. Because next week, Edward G. Robinson will star in an unusual story called The Man Who Wanted to Be Edward G. Robinson. Another gripping study in
Suspense.
Virginia Bruce may soon be seen in the Paramount picture, Night Has 1,000 Eyes. And Robert Young appears soon in his latest RKO production, Baltimore Escapade. Tonight's suspense play was written by Phyllis Parker and Arnold Marquis, with music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as Ray Milland, William Powell, Lucille Ball, John Garfield, and many others. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. And next Thursday, same time, hear Edward G. Robinson in The Man Who Wanted to Be Edward G. Robinson.
This is the Autolite Suspense Show. Drive as if your life depends on it. It does. Good night. Switch to Autolite.
This is CBS, where 99 million people gather every week, the Columbia Broadcasting System. In just a moment, Suspense with Edward G. Robinson.
Boy, have I got the hiccups.
I'll say you have. And the way you're sputtering, you sound like a car that needs a set of new Autolite spark plugs.
Now, Hap, it isn't funny. Billy, have you tried drinking a glass of water while you hold your breath?
Mom, I'm so full of water now, I feel like an Autolite stay full battery.
Men never take anything seriously.
Maybe what Billy needs is a hiccup. I mean a checkup at an Autolite ignition service station.
It might help if I could get my mind on something else.
Say, I know what'll make you forget those hiccups and give you a bunch of thrills to boot. Switch to Autolite, Mary. It's time for Suspense.
Suspense. Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starring tonight, Mr. Edward G. Robinson in Anton Leader's production of The Man Who Wanted to Be Edward G. Robinson. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I'm making this statement in accordance with a promise to a very dear friend. It's a complete statement in every detail, even including those matters which are to me personally most incriminating. Because my trust in my friend is such that I haven't the slightest concern on that score, or any other. What follows concerns primarily two persons. Myself, Homer J. Hubbard, and my wife, Ada Sampsey Hubbard. Even when I was courting Ada, I was aware that hers was a strong and domineering personality, to say the least. And after we were married, well, at first I put up with Ada's constant nagging and petty persecutions as best I could. I put up with them for 20 long years. It wasn't until a memorable evening a little over a year ago that the first dim outlines of an escape and finally a plan began to take shape in my mind. You see, I never was much of a one for movies, but Ada and I had gone to see a picture called Little Caesar. It was a reissue, I think they call it, with an actor in it whom I'd never even heard of before.
Oh, so you thought you rat on me, huh? Well, get this. Nobody rats on Little Caesar, see?
The moment I saw that face on the screen, the minute I heard that voice, the world of reality around me simply ceased to exist. I lived that picture. I was Little Caesar. I was Edward G. Robinson. I was dimly conscious that my voice was like his, that even my face without my spectacles and with my hair parted differently might have been mistaken for his, but it was more than that. It was his personality that fascinated me, and that I assumed. Calm, assured, tough. Kind of a man who made people do what he wanted done, the way he wanted it done. Walking out of the movie theater afterward, I knew something had happened that was going to change my whole life.
Well, there's a man.
Yes.
Caesar, they call him, and well they may.
Yes.
And that Edward G. Robinson, I'll wager he's no Casper Milk Toast either.
Yes, dear.
Is that all you have to say?
Well,
yes, dear. What does it take to arouse a little enthusiasm in you, anyway?
Well,
Here you've seen a fine performance. A picture that'd get anybody in the world excited.
That's
and
right.
all you can say is, yes, dear. I wish you were half the man that Robinson is.
But from that moment, I no longer really cared what Ada wished or thought. I'd begun my escape into a dream world of my own making. A world in which I was Edward G. Robinson. As the weeks went by, I began to identify myself with him more and more. I imagined myself in countless dangerous situations, and when no one was looking, I imitated him and I affected his mannerisms. I would start daydreaming at my desk, wondering what the other people in the office would think if I suddenly exposed this hidden side of my personality.
Okay, everybody. Stay where you are. Will you? Hold your hands over your head.
What is this?
I don't want any monkey business, see? Now stand back there, Ryan. Any funny stuff from you, and I'll let you have it.
Hubbard, this is preposterous. What do you mean by such behavior? Is this your idea of a joke?
You'll see whether it's a joke or not if you make one false move. This isn't a water pistol I'm holding here, you know.
Hubbard, you're fired. Leave this office immediately.
Well, I'm getting out all right, but I'm not fired, see? I'm leaving well-heeled, and that's where you come in, Mr. Ryan.
Oh, please, Hubbard, be reasonable.
Now, shut up and do what I tell you. Keep your hands up in the air, will you? Walk over to that safe. Open it up. Get all the money out of it and put it right here on the desk in front of me. Now, get moving. I don't want to have any trouble with you, Ryan. I'm going to count 3, and if you're not moving when I finish, you'll never move again, see? 1, 2...
Hubbard.
Huh?
What are you doing daydreaming?
Oh.
You'd better get busy. I shall be forced to report you to Mr. Pemberton again.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Mr. Ryan. I'm terribly sorry. I can't understand what could have come over me. Well, that's the way it went. At the office, walking down the street, riding home on the bus. My life, outwardly calm and well-ordered, possibly even dull, was actually 24 hours of harrowing adventure, with myself as the central figure. I saw every Edward G. Robinson picture that came out. It was the day after seeing Key Largo for the 3rd time that Ada finally caught me. I was lathering my face and talking to myself. Okay, rats, you asked for it. You don't come out, say, we're coming in and get you, see? And we're coming in shooting, see? What's that? Oh, yeah? Well, only a dirty yellow rat would say that. Okay, boys, let him have it.
Well, I never. Of all the 4 performances I ever heard of, this beats everything.
Yeah.
What in the world are you jabbering about in here?
Well, it's really nothing, dear Ada. I was just sort of trying to imitate Edward G. Robinson.
You were... what? Edward G. Robinson?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rich. You trying to imitate Edward G. Robinson? Don't stop. Don't let me interrupt the performance, Mr. Movie Star. Come on. Do your act for me.
Well, dear, I don't see anything so funny about it.
Oh, maybe you don't, but you're the only person in the world who watches. Oh, my. Well, I'll leave you to your rehearsing. Why don't you imitate Eddie Bracken or Margaret O'Brien? I think you'll find it easier.
It was right then that I decided to kill her.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Mr. Edward G. Robinson in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Looks like Billy's all over those hiccups, thanks to Edward G. Robinson and Suspense.
Shh, don't mention hiccups again. He might get them back. Let's switch his mind to something else.
Well, you know how he is about anything Autolite makes. Mm-hmm. Let's listen to Frank Martin. That'll do the trick.
Friends, money can't buy better electrical equipment for your car than Autolite. And here's why. In the first place, Autolite is the world's largest independent manufacturer of automotive electrical equipment. Original factory equipment for many of the finest cars and trucks in America. In its 26 nationwide plants, Autolite manufactures distributors, generators, starting motors, spark plugs, batteries, wire, not to mention such things as bumpers, die castings, horns, instruments and gauges, lights, ornamental plastics, and over 400 other products. What's more, Autolite service stations all over the country are staffed with trained men and specialized machines to give your car the best possible electrical service. So, friends, when your car's electrical equipment needs attention, drive into your nearest Autolite service station or the dealer who sells your make of car and ask for original factory parts and service.
Remember, Autolite service stations are listed in your classified telephone directory under Automotive Electrical Equipment.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Edward G. Robinson in The Man Who Wanted to Be Edward G. Robinson. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I might have decided to have mercy on her if she'd only let me alone. But Ada could never leave anyone alone. She ridiculed me at home and in front of our friends. Sometimes she'd let a few weeks go by without saying anything, and I would think that perhaps she had forgotten. No, Ada never forgot. She would wait until we were in a group of people, and then she would come out with it.
Well, my dear, you mean I haven't told you about Homer's dream world?
No.
He thinks he's Edward G. Robinson.
Edward? Oh, no.
Do tell us, Mr. Homer G. Robinson, when do you think you'll be getting your next contract from Hollywood? Oh, you folks have got Homer all wrong. He's a killer at heart. Just a cold-blooded killer.
I want to buy a gun.
Yes, sir. What kind of a gun?
I don't know much about guns, but that one looks all right.
Oh, yes. It's a nice little gun.
Yes, isn't it?
2850.
Do I have to have a license?
Oh, not unless you're going to carry it on your person.
Oh.
Otherwise, we just register it for the police records under your name.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name?
Edward G. Robinson.
I beg your pardon.
You heard me, Mug. Edward G. Robinson. See? I had made my plans very carefully. My plan was that her murder would look like suicide. It would be a night when the moon was full, so that I could see a head on the pillow and aim carefully. I would fire the shot through the temple, quickly wipe my fingerprints from the handle of the gun, and then push it into her hand. And as the shocked and bereaved husband, I would call Dr. Wallace. The police wouldn't come until later, and when they did, I would be ready for them. I was so busy laying my plans that I hadn't been reading the papers and had to be told the big news.
Homer? Oh, I beg your pardon. Mr. Robinson.
Oh, please.
Would you mind passing the spinach? That is, if you're not too preoccupied with planning your next murder.
Oh, please, Ada.
Yeah, held up any banks lately, Homer?
Here you are, dear.
Oh, say, that reminds me, all kidding aside. Did you know that he's going to be here next week?
Who?
Edward G. Robinson. What? He's going to address the hobbyist convention.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'd like to hear him.
I would, too. Oh, I'd love to see what a real He-Man is like. Not just a poor imitation.
We went. And at first, it was the most terrible disappointment of my life. Because he wasn't tough or hard-boiled or anything like it. He seemed to be a mild-mannered little fellow, a little shy, almost like me. And he talked about orchids and modern art. They were his hobbies, he said, raising orchids and collecting paintings, modern paintings. Yes, but as the lecture went on, I began to understand. By the time it was over, I knew. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I consider myself twice blessed. Every man is blessed who has a hobby, but I am among the fortunate few who have two hobbies. And as the fellow said, whose fiancée had a twin sister, I love them both.
Thank you very
much. Later that evening, I made an excuse to get away from Ada and went down to the hotel where I knew Mr. Robinson was staying. I bribed the bellboy $1.75 to tell me which was his room. I went down the hall and knocked at the door of 708. Yeah? Western Union. Come on in. Just put it on the... Well, say, Western Union dresses their boys up pretty snappy in this town, don't they? I must apologize for adopting the subterfuge, Mr. Robinson, but I have something of the utmost importance to discuss with you, and I was afraid you might not see me since, well, we've never been formally introduced. Formally introduced? Why, that's all right. What is it, autograph? I'm afraid it's something a good deal more serious than that, Mr. Robinson. Yeah? Well, you caught me right in the middle of shaving, as you see, but if you don't mind my finishing the job while you talk, why, come right along inside. Tell me all about it. Thank you. Well, now, what's on your mind? Well, Mr. Robinson, I have a problem, and I feel you are the person best fitted in the world to tell me what to do. That's so. Well, what is the problem? Mr. Robinson, suppose, of course, this is purely hypothetical, but suppose you were going to kill somebody. Kill somebody? Yes, in your own home, somebody who's, shall we say, related to you. Yeah, now, hold on a minute, Mr. Hubbard. Homer J. Hubbard. Mr. Hubbard, I may look like a bad guy on the screen, but when I'm not working, I'm just a plain, peace-loving citizen like anybody else. You can fool people like that audience tonight with all that talk about orchids and modern art, and it was very good, and I quite understand why you do it. A man in your position must have a front, of course, but you didn't fool me. I didn't, huh? Well, I know, rather, I knew I could come to you and be perfectly frank. Yeah, about what? Why, about the murder. About the what? Well, look at me, Mr. Robinson. I'm a shy, inhibited, weak, utterly ineffectual person. I've none of your assurance, your hardness, your ability to cope with any situation in a direct, ruthless way. Yeah? Well, how many times I wished I had, because for 20 years my life has been made horribly, unbearably miserable by one person. My wife. Oh, so that's the way it is. Yes. For years I bore it as best I could, and then one day I thought, how would you have coped with it? And of course I knew at once you would kill her. Yeah, now wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Oh, no, Mr. Robinson. I wouldn't think of such a thing. Look here. I've even secured a gun to do it with. Hey, yeah, here, you better give me that. No, don't point it. Well, hand it to me by the barrel. Here. I'll put it over here. Safer, you know. Yeah, I must admit I know very little about firearms, and they're quite distasteful to me. Yes, you and me both. You, Mr. Robinson? Well, I mean, small arms like that. Of course, a Tommy gun, that's different. That's the only thing to use. Yeah, I suppose you're right. But I didn't know where to get a Tommy gun. I was afraid even if I did, I'd never master the art of using it. Yeah, well, now you want to kill your wife, is that it? You want me to help you? If you would, Mr. Robinson, if you could spare the time, I can't tell you how grateful I'd be. Yeah, well, you know, Mr. Hubbard, you look like a pretty nice little guy. Wife must really be an old battle axe to have got you in a frame of mind like this. All right, now I'll tell you what I'll do. I will help you. Oh, Mr. Robinson. Yes, but it's got to be done my way, see? It's got to be done right. You got to plan these things. Yeah, now, take this gat, this little fleet, for instance, that you got over there. That's no kind of a rod to kill your wife with. Why, the caliber is all wrong. The ballistics would be all wrong. Sticks would be on your trail just like that. Now, I got a gat home that's perfect for the job. Get me? I've knocked off Orson Welles, Jimmy Cagg. Oh, I don't know how many guys with this. Now, the first thing when I get home, I'll send it to you parcel post, see? Would you, Mr. Robinson? Oh, sure. Now, when you get it, just lay low, see? Now, don't do a thing till you hear from me. I'll lay this thing out for some of my boys, and then I'll get in touch with you, okay? Oh, yes, Mr. Robinson. I don't know how to thank you. Forget it, pal. What's a little murder between friends? I could scarcely maintain my composure in the 2 days that followed. The second day, sure enough, the gun arrived. It was a great, heavy thing, the kind that's referred to, I think, as an automatic. Remembering its history, I handled it with the utmost care and reverence. I hid it in the garage where I keep my pipe that Ada won't let me smoke in the house. It was the next afternoon, a Saturday, that the phone rang. I rushed into the bedroom to answer it and close the door after me so Ada wouldn't hear in case it was.
Hello, Homer.
Yes?
This is Eddie.
Eddie?
Yeah, you know, Eddie Robinson.
Oh, yes, Miss... Eddie.
You get that package I sent you?
Oh, yes, I got it.
Okay, but don't fool around with it, will you, until the time comes. Kind of tricky.
Oh, no, I won't.
Now, listen. The deadline is tomorrow night. Midnight, got it?
Yes?
Now, here's the layout. Tomorrow night, you go to bed, just as always, but have that cat handy and leave the front door open, see?
I understand.
Oh, say, wait a minute. I meant to ask you, is it safe to talk where you are?
Oh, yes. The phone's in the bedroom and the door is closed.
The bedroom, huh? That's swell. Well, now, listen. A little before midnight, you get up, see? When she's asleep, you take a spot just outside the bedroom door, see? Where you can keep an eye on her and on the front door, too, see?
Yes?
Well, at midnight, I'll contact you. We'll do your job and then make a quick getaway and you can hold up in the hideout until the heat's off. Get it? Tomorrow night, midnight.
I'll do everything just as you say, Eddie. I followed his instructions to the letter. It seemed hours before Ada went to sleep that night. It seemed days until my watch finally crept around towards midnight. But at last, the time had come. I crept out of bed, got the gun out of my coat pocket, and took my position on the landing outside the bedroom door as he had told me to. And then suddenly the phone rang. The plan was ruined. Even Edward G. Robinson couldn't have foreseen this. I rushed back into the bedroom, hoping against hope that I could catch it before Ada woke up. But she already had the light on.
Homer! What in the world are you doing prowling around at this time of night with a gun in your hand?
Why, I thought I heard a burglar.
Burglar? When I've answered this phone, I want to talk to you, Homer Jeremiah Hubbard.
Yeah.
Hello? Yes. What? Oh.
What?
Homer, there is a burglar.
Is there?
Someone just saw him trying to get into the house.
Oh, are you sure?
Of course I am. A man just phoned that he saw the burglar. We don't just stand there.
No.
He's got a gun. Go on down and stop him.
Yes, but Ada...
Come on. Do you want us to be killed in our beds?
No.
Go on, I say.
Oh, Ada, why do you have to spoil everything? There was nothing to do but go. I crept down the stairs in the darkness. I knew what Edward G. Robinson would have done. He would have gone down and captured the burglar without the slightest trouble and turned him over to the police after giving him the beating he deserved. But somehow I didn't feel much like Edward G. Robinson just then. It was at that moment that the terrible thought occurred to me that maybe it wasn't a burglar. Maybe this was Edward G. Robinson. I had no time to pursue the thought further.
Let him have it!
Suddenly, there was a barrage of shots and a confused yelling of voices. In my terror, I suppose I squeezed the trigger of my own gun. Because it began jumping and twisting in my hand. I tripped on something, and the next thing I knew, I was tumbling headlong down the stairs, and that was the last I remember. When I woke up, Ada was holding my head in her arms. She was crying. They made me stay in bed for a couple of days, but I really didn't mind. There were reporters to see me and take my picture for the paper, and all kinds of people. Even Mr. Ryan and Mr. Pemberton came to see me. And Ada? Well, Ada was simply a changed person. Nothing was too good for me. My slightest wish was literally her command. If the whole thing hadn't been an accident, if I'd planned it that way, it couldn't have turned out better. And then as the final climax that afternoon when the phone rang by my bed. Yes? Oh, yes. Eddie? You did, huh? Oh, nothing really. Yes? Oh. Well, about that, things have changed. Oh, yes, they've changed quite a lot. I don't think we'll have to go through with it. Yeah, that's right. Oh, sure, she's right here. Just a minute. Eddie wants to talk to you, Ada.
Eddie?
Yeah, Eddie Robinson. Quite a pal of mine.
You mean Edward G. Robinson?
Oh, yes. We had quite a little chat that night. He was in town after I left you. We got pretty chummy. Yeah, go on.
Hello? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Mr. Robinson. Oh, I know he is. Oh, I certainly will, Mr. Robinson. Yes, I know. I'm very lucky. All right, Mr. Robinson. Goodbye. Oh, Homer, he knew all about it. He'd seen it in the papers.
Yeah, so he said.
And he said you were a hero. A real hero. Bigger than any movie hero that ever was.
He did, huh?
Oh, Homer.
Well, if Eddie Robinson says I'm a hero, well, I guess maybe I am. Couldn't have turned out better, Eddie. You know how grateful I am. I'm a regular little Caesar around town now, and my married life is all I've ever wanted to be. Of course, there are some things about the whole thing that confuse me a little. It has even occurred to me, I'll confess, that you might have had more of a hand in it than was generally known, and that the gun you sent me might have contained blanks. I believe you called them, because in spite of all the shooting, there wasn't one bullet hole anywhere in the house. And the gun had disappeared, which confused the police somewhat, too, and the burglars might have been some of your boys playing a little joke. But I don't think you would do a thing like that to a pal, Eddie. Would you? I don't even think you would use the statement that you asked me to send you to hold over my head as a guarantee that I wouldn't try to kill Ada again. No, not that I ever would. Yes, but even if you did all that, Eddie, I don't really mind. Because, as you might say yourself, what's a little joke between pals?
Thank you, Edward G. Robinson, for a splendid performance. Mr. Robinson will return in just a moment.
My, that was a wonderful performance, wasn't it, Hap?
Sure was. Oh, say, Billy, how are the hiccups?
Oh, God, Dad. I think I lost them during Mr. Martin's last Autolite commercial.
Well, that's fine. Well, I guess it's time to... Oh, my gosh. Now I've got them. Mary, turn up Frank Martin again, quick.
Autolite original factory parts and Autolite service stations work as a team to help you maintain carefree, economical performance for your car. So, friends, when your car's electrical system needs attention, drive into your nearest Autolite service station or the dealer who sells your make of car and ask for original factory parts and Autolite service. Money can't buy better electrical equipment than Autolite. And remember, Autolite means spark plug, ignition-engineered spark plug. Autolite means batteries, stay full batteries. Autolite means ignition system, the lifeline of your car.
And now here again is Mr. Edward G. Robinson.
It's been fun appearing in our suspense story tonight, but just so nobody gets the wrong idea, it was only a story. I'm not really so tough. Only get this. I'm telling you, see, you better listen to Suspense next week, see? Because Ray Milland will be here in the story called Night Cry by William L. Stewart. Another gripping study in...
Suspense.
Edward G. Robinson may soon be seen in the Paramount production Night Has 1,000 Eyes. Tonight's suspense play was written by Leslie Raditz, with music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as William Powell, Lucille Ball, John Garfield, Sidney Greenstreet, and many others. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. And next Thursday, same time, hear Ray Milland in Night Cry.
This is the
Autolite Suspense show. Drive as if your life depends on it. It does. Good night. Switch to Autolite.
That's the boy who stole my car, forced me out, took my coat. Just look in the side pocket of the coat. You'll find my wallet.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Mr. Gregory Peck in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
I'm sure getting a big kick out of Gregory Peck tonight.
Oh, good. Maybe you'll put that old picture album away now.
Why, Mary, don't you like old photos?
No, they make us look so silly. Besides, all they've made you do is talk about Autolite. And when it comes to Autolite, I'd rather listen to Frank Martin. He really knows what he's talking about.
Autolite new stay-full batteries need water only 3 times a year in normal car use. This means less trouble and care for you. For Autolite's greater water reserve practically eliminates one of the major causes of battery failure. Autolite stay-full batteries are a great new development of Autolite engineers who produce complete ignition systems for many of America's finest cars. They work in complete harmony with your car's entire electrical system. Car owners everywhere tell us Autolite batteries are the greatest batteries ever built.
Heck, Mary, I could have told you all that and never stopped looking at this album.
Quiet, Hap.
So, friends, stop at your neighborhood Autolite dealers and get an Autolite stay-full battery. Then you'll know what fast starts really are. And remember this. The Autolite stay-full battery you buy needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use.
You know, Mary, I can repeat every word Frank Martin said about Autolite stay-full batteries. Autolite stay...
Here's Suspense again.
And now, Autolite brings back to a Hollywood soundstage Mr. Gregory Peck as Ridge Fowler in Hitchhike Poker, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
This couldn't be. What was Belden doing here in the police station? What was he trying to pull? I knew even before I put my hand in the coat that Belden's wallet would be there. And I knew, too, that the police would never believe me, no matter what I said. I was trapped. The desk sergeant was waiting for me to talk, but my throat was dry, my tongue was paralyzed, my brain spinning.
Well, what do you got to say for yourself?
Oh, you don't understand, you see. He gave me the coat. I didn't know about the wallet.
That's the best you can do?
But I tell you, he picked me up when I was hitchhiking. I was going home from school for the weekend. Then he forced me off the road. He tried to kill me. He shot at me.
Sergeant, let the boy go.
But, Mr. Belden...
I've changed my mind. I don't intend to press charges.
But this kid's crazy.
Easy, Sergeant. He's a war veteran.
Oh, I see.
Oh, no. Lock me up, please. Don't believe him.
Everyone is entitled to one mistake. Any boy who is big enough to come into the police station voluntarily, give himself up, deserves another chance.
If I could have erased the memory of his face when he
lock him up,
twisted that wheel and screamed, "So long, Sonny." All these benevolent words would have fooled me like they were fooling the desk sergeant. Belden was bursting with sweetness and light. But every word he said to release me only tightened the web tighter. And I knew just as sure as I was standing there that he wasn't through with me. That walking out of that door would be like releasing the clay bird at a trap shoot.
Well, it's up to you, Mr. Belden, if you're sure he won't cause any more trouble.
I'm positive that after tonight, this young man will be no trouble to anyone.
No trouble to anyone. After tonight, I had to get away from there. I had to run.
Come here, come back.
I don't know how long I ran. I didn't know where I was. The town was behind me. I stopped. Out of breath. I tried to light a cigarette. My hands shook like I had the palsy. It was like the South Pacific. Snipers and trees, but what trees? Where? Then I saw the bright, glaring neon ahead. Mackinac, one sign said, and Wayside Rest Trucks Welcome, the other. Just a dinky service station and a lunch wagon, but it was an oasis to me.
Howdy.
Hey, what's the matter, Bud? You sick?
No, I'm all right.
You sure look green around the gills. Been in a fight?
How soon will the truck start coming through?
You got a long wait, about 2-3 hours. Been in an accident?
Look, mister, I've got to get a ride to Ojai. Do you mind if I hang around and wait?
Oh, I don't mind. Won't do no good, though. Ain't allowed to pick up riders, company rules. Might be lucky and catch a wildcatter, but I doubt it.
Oh, thanks.
You sure you're all right? Maybe you better go next door and get yourself a cup of coffee. Sure look like you could use one.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Hey, if a ride turns up, I'll call you.
Oh, thanks, Mac.
Oh, I'm not Mac. I'm Al. Mac works days.
Well, I felt halfway decent when I came out of the lunch wagon. I'd cleaned myself up and reduced my capital to 15 cents. Al had a customer.
Yes, no, that'll be $2.80. Hey, Bud, come here.
Uh-huh.
I got you a ride to Ojai.
Oh, you have? Who with?
The little lady here. She's been driving all day, got an awful headache. She's going straight to Ojai. Here's the fella I was telling you about, lady, that needed a ride to Ojai.
Oh, I'm afraid you misunderstood. I just said I wished I had somebody to drive me.
Oh, well, I don't blame you for not wanting to take a rider, but I'd appreciate it if you'd change your mind. I've got to get to Ojai tonight.
Well, I am tired.
Oh, go ahead, miss. He's a nice one.
See what I mean? Good Joe. A lot of laughs and small talk. And all the time that convertible eating the miles up. What a car. We practically flew through Salinas, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Maria.
Well, son, what do you say to a hamburger? I know a little place in Santa Ynez where they make a hamburger that drips with royalty.
Oh, you got me sold.
And on the side, French fried onions, shoestring potatoes, and the coldest beer in the world.
Stop, you're killing me.
Now, tell me, did I overrate the place?
Boy, that was terrific.
The trouble is they give you too much food in there. I've got to quit eating like that. My clothes are getting tight. Especially this coat.
Well, that coat sure is a beauty. I'm nuts about camel's hair.
You are? Gee, I've got an idea. Why don't you try it on?
Oh, no, Mr. Belden. I didn't mean
Go ahead. You're just enough thinner than I am that it ought to fit you fine.
Well, gosh,
Here, go ahead. Try it on. College boy can always use a coat.
Oh. Well, it's a good fit.
It was made for you.
Well, I don't know what to say. That's a coat for a king.
Well, I guess that makes you a monarch then, son. Because it's your coat now.
I couldn't get over it. A coat like that, mine? I'll bet Mom's eyes will really pop when she sees it on me. Must have cost a year's tuition. I climbed back into the car and slouched down into the maroon leather seat and waited for him while he made a phone call. Boy, I felt like a king, all right. I was deep in a daydream when he came out of the phone booth.
Okay, Rich, here we go.
I drew a straight. 2J3456.
Really?
Straight?
That's the highest hand today. That'll be tough to beat.
Darn tough. Well, we drove for quite a while, not talking much. We left Highway 101 at Santa Ynez, where we got the hamburgers. There weren't many cars on the road, and Belden hadn't been able to draw anything to beat my straight. In fact, he seemed to lose interest in the game. He was concentrating on the road. It was a treacherous road, curved and high, full of hairpin turns, but he handled the car beautifully, taking those curves fast but sure, never slowing down a bit. Well, I like speed, but all of a sudden I felt nervous the way he was hugging the edge. I turned to look at him to say something, and the words stuck in my throat. He changed. No more the smiling host. Instead, he was fastened to the wheel like a hawk. That's what he looked like, a hawk, ready to strike. I was tongue-tied at the changing. I guess my reflexes worked slowly, but his didn't. He threw open his door, twisted the wheel. When the car hurtled into space, I was alone in it. My head crashed into the windshield. Another jolt threw me against the door. I'm not too clear at this point, but the next thing I knew, I was flying through space again. Only this time I was free of the car. I landed, sprawled against the side of the hill. I began to slip, roll. I grabbed wildly, desperately, for just anything to stop myself. But it happened. It was the trunk of a twisted, gnarled old tree that grew out of the hillside. Hit me square in the stomach. Knocked the wind right out of me. I lay there, too hurt to care. It was a minute or two before I got up enough breath to move. Finally, I edged my way up the cliff, hand over hand. It was brutal, but I was surprised to discover that I hadn't fallen as far as it seemed. I was climbing around a bulge of boulders not more than 8 feet from roadside level when I looked up. There was Belden. A gun in his hand. I ducked and the bullets scaled off the boulders. He wanted me dead, that was for sure. He wanted to kill me. Why? Why? I waited, crouched. Then I heard the horn. I came out from behind the boulders, crawled up on the road. Belden was nowhere in sight. I didn't see what kind of a car it was. I didn't even think to look. All I saw was he beat my straight. 4L5555. That was the license. 4L5555. 4 of a kind. All of a sudden, I was shaking. I looked at myself. I was beat up, cut, filthy. But what was worse, the camel's hair coat was a mess. King? I had to laugh. Belden was king. I was just the joker. My back hurt, my head throbbed. I ached all over. But I walked every inch of the way back to Santa Ynez. It was dark by the time I got there. When I stood in front of the police station, I realized for the first time the meaning of the word sanctuary. I took a deep breath. I wanted to tell the police as straight a story as possible. I opened the door. Just relax and get the
Belden. In just a moment, Suspense with Gregory Peck.
Oh, Hap, did you find that old picture album?
Yeah. Take a peek at yourself in the old look. The funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh, Mary, here's a shot of a first car. Roll down curtains and everything, remember?
Yes, and weren't we proud of it?
Mm-hmm. But what an arm breaker. Crank, crank like a rusty old coffee grinder. What a whale of a difference a quick-starting Autolite stay-full battery makes.
Are you going to take Autolite again, honey?
For stay-full battery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said it, Mary. Why, I wouldn't trade that thirst-free powerhouse in our car for all the tea in China. Same goes for our Autolite spark plugs and Autolite ignition system.
I don't suppose you'd care to trade this small talk for a half hour of suspense.
Oh, sure, Mary, sure. Stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starring tonight, Mr. Gregory Peck in Anton Leader's production of Hitchhike Poker. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Want to ride, young fella?
Oh, you bet.
How far are you going?
Oh, hi.
Well, hop in.
Oh, thanks. That's how I met J. Stewart Belden in his canary yellow convertible. how I took the ride, I'll be a long time forgetting. He looked to be about 45, and he wasn't bad looking for a guy that old. He was well built, about my size, no gray in his hair. And that coat he was wearing, boy, I'll bet plenty of camels went under the clippers for that one.
So you're a student, eh?
I'll graduate from Berkeley this year.
I suppose you're a vet?
Oh, yes, more than half the guys are vets.
What's your name, son?
Ridge Fowler.
Married?
Not me.
Don't tell me you're a woman hater.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just, well, I have enough trouble feeding myself.
I said the same thing years ago. Ah, but you'll change your mind when the right girl comes along. 9B 1863. Done.
Huh?
Oh, didn't you ever play license plate poker?
License plate poker? Never heard of it.
It's just like regular poker, except instead of drawing cards, you draw license plates. Now, I drew that hand. There was nothing in it. Next card we see will be your hand. Here comes one now. Watch the license plate. 4J3134, two pair, 3s and 4s. You beat me.
Hey, that's a good game. What are the stakes?
Well, make it easy on yourself. Shall we say $100,000 a hand?